Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we are going to learn how to find the area of a trapezoid. Let's get started. We need to understand what the different parts of a trapezoid are. First and foremost, a trapezoid is a four-sided shape that has two bases and some height. The legs or the diagonal pieces can be really in any orientation as long as you have a parallel base and height. And you know they're parallel because they will never touch if you were to extend them in either direction. We typically refer to these bases as base 1 and base 2. It doesn't matter which one is base 1 and base 2, just understand that the bases have to be the parallel sides. The second part that's important is the height. The height is typically drawn as a dashed line. You'll want to see a perpendicular symbol in the corner, and it'll have some measurement, we'll just call it h. The most important thing is that the height has to be perpendicular to the bases and measure the distance between the bases. I know that's a lot of words, so this will help make it simpler. Here are two more examples of trapezoids. You'll notice that the shapes are fairly different, and the left one is actually the same as the right one, just rotated. Looking at the left shape, which we will color slightly differently. Let's color it blue. Looking at the blue shape, we can identify the bases as base 1 and base 2 because they are parallel to each other, and the height as being the left side h because it is perpendicular to both of the bases. Now let's look at the orange shape. The orange shape, the bases are actually on the sides. We have base 1 and base 2 because they are parallel. You know it is not this side because that side is not parallel to the other side. So never ever use the sides that are not parallel as your bases. Instead, use the parallel ones. Okay, great. Now we need to identify the height, which is going to be the side that's on the bottom because it is perpendicular to the bases. First things first, we need to know what the formula for area is. The area for a trapezoid is going to be 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 all times the height. This can be written in a couple different ways, but in general, this is how you're going to find the area. If you're curious, this part, 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2, is actually taking the average of the top and the bottom base. If you're not sure what that means, you can check out one of our other videos on what the average or the mean means. Okay, now let's apply this to finding the area. All right, we have base 1 at the bottom, which is 7 centimeters. We have base 2 on the top, which is 5 centimeters. And we have the height in the middle, which is 12 centimeters, and we know it's the height because it touches both of the bases and it's perpendicular. Okay, now we can plug this straight into our equation. We have the area is equal to 1/2 base 1, which is 7, plus base 2, which is 5, times the height, which is 12. Simplifying, we use PEMDAS, or basic order of operations. 7 plus 5 is 12, times 12 and a half. We know that 1/2 times 12, or essentially 12 divided by 2, is 6. So we have 6 times 12, which gives us 72. And for our units, since we are doing area, we are centimeters and squared. Let's try another one. Here we have another trapezoid. Let's write out the area, and we'll apply the formula. We have base 1 on the bottom, base 2 on the top, and we have the height on the left side, which is 4. Again, we know that this is the height because it's perpendicular to our bases. Plugging into our equation, we have 1/2 times 3 plus 1 times the height, which is 4. Simplifying, we have 1/2 times 4 times 4. Simplifying 4 times a half gives us 2 times 4, which is a total of 8. And now our units are miles squared, or square miles. All right, let's move on. This one looks an awful lot like our first example. Go ahead and pause this video and give it a try on your own. For the solution, we have the same formula. We have base 1 down here, base 2. And again, it doesn't matter which one you call base 1 or base 2. And then we have our height, which is 8. Plugging into our formula, we have area equals 1/2 the first base plus the second base, all times the height of 8. So now we have 1/2 times 9 times 8. You can simplify the 2 down to a 1, the 8 down to a 4. That gives you 9 times 4, which is 36 inches squared. All right, and one final example. Again, I recommend you pause this video and give this a try on your own. Let's start by identifying our bases. Our base 1 is here, and 2 miles is base 2, and then our height is actually on the bottom. As a reminder, we know this because they are perpendicular and the bases are parallel to each other. Plugging into our formula, area is equal to 1/2, adding the bases together of 5 plus 2 times the height of 8. Simplifying, we have 1/2 times 7 times 8. We can simplify the 8 and the 2 down to a 4 and a 1. Now we just have 7 times 4, which is 28 miles squared. All right, that's all we have in this video. I hope you learned something, and thanks for watching.